Today we have a lot of news, so let's get right into it. We have new Gladiator Beast, we have our Halloween fun stuff, and then Arcana Force later. So let's take a look at these brand new cards, and let's take a look at the Gladiator Beast first. So when we look at Gladiator Beast, we have 2 monsters, 1 Link, 1 Fusion, and 1 spell card. And the first card being Test Bear. It is a level 4 Earth Beast effect monster, 900 attack and 600 defense, and you can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn, and you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control a Gladiator Beast monster special summon from the deck or extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. Actually a really good extender. You can tribute this card and shuffle 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or face up on the field to the deck or extra deck. Special summon up to 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck. This is treated as a special summon by a Gladiator Beast effect. This card's an instant 3-of because it gets to 2 Gladiator Beast names on the field, so you can go into any fusion or your new Link monster or the last Link monster. So overall, we're off to a very great start. After that, we can always have a new name, and this new name is Gladiator Beast Magister. It is a level 3 Earth Beast effect monster, 1200 attack and 2000 defense, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card and one other Gladiator Beast monster in your hand, special summon both. If this card is special summoned by a Gladiator Beast monster's effect, you can add 1 Gladiator Beast spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. At the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can special summon it into the or you can shuffle it into the deck, special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from the deck, except Magister. Again, this card's really broken. Off to a great start for Gladiator Beast. This actually fixes a lot of the issues that Gladiator Beast has by making it where you could summon multiple names from the hand from one effect, and honestly, this is a really useful card, so I think both of these names are 3-ofs because of how powerful they are. So after that, let's take a look at the brand new fusion monster that they're receiving in this set, and it is Gladiator Beast Claudius. Level 12 Dark Beast fusion effect monster, 3700 attack and 2600 defense. 5 Gladiator Beast monsters, and must be special summoned from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards from your field and or graveyard into the deck or extra deck. If this card is summoned this way, you can conduct your next battle phase twice. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate this effect based on whose turn it is. Yours, special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, or your opponent special summon 1 level 11 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions. A very powerful card, being a 3700 beat stick, so if your opponent doesn't have much, you are going to be OTK'd into oblivion because they can do the battle phase twice, and they can get stuff from the deck relatively quickly, or just summon out an interruption from the extra deck. I don't know what it is about this thing, I forgot about it twice so far, and it is the brand new Gladiator Beast Darius. It is a Link 2 Earth Beast Warrior Link effect monster, 1700 attack, and it takes 2 monsters including a Gladiator Beast monster. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is Link summoned, you can activate this effect. You cannot use monsters as Link material for the rest of this turn, except for Gladiator Beast monsters. Also, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or graveyard, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck instead. And Gladiator Beast monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects during your opponent's battle phase. Honestly, this is really, really good of a Link monster, and being able to grab any Gladiator Beast level 4 or lower is really strong, and I really like this support. It's definitely what the deck needed. And finally, let's get to the last card, being an actual field spell, being Falavis, Arena of the Gladiator Beast. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can discard 1 card, add 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Really good. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Really good. And during the end phase, if a Gladiator Beast monster was summoned from your deck this turn, you can set 1 Gladiator Beast or Gladiator Trap from your deck. So you're telling me you could set Chariot for free. And honestly, this is a really good card because it gets you a name on the board, it can protect your stuff when your opponent declares an attack, and overall, I really do like this support. All 5 cards definitely help out Gladiator Beast. But now, let's get into the next piece of news. Now, the next 3 cards are going to be in Master Duel after release. We have Hollow, the Great Spirit of Tricks. It is a level 4 Dark Fiend effect monster, 0 attack and defense, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can make your opponent choose one of these effects for you to apply. You must control this face-up card to activate and resolve this effect. This card gains 800 attack for each Fiend monster in the graveyard, or inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each Fiend monster in the graveyard. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Very interesting Halloween gimmick card, but it could be relatively useful in certain decks, like its own, that you could do, because you have this and 2 other cards that you can pair it with that could definitely deal some interesting damage. So one of the things that I do want to note, these are clearly made by the person who did the live twin art because they look relatively similar in style. But next we have Ween, the Great Spirit of Treats. It is exactly the same. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can make your opponent choose one of these effects for you to apply. You must control this face-up card to activate and to resolve this effect. This card gains 800 attack for each zombie monster in your graveyard, or inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each zombie monster in your graveyard. And if this card is destroyed by battle or effect, you can special summon one monster from your opponent's graveyard to your field. So realistically, they both have their utilities of destroying something or grabbing something from your opponent. And I could really see these cards being played in gimmick decks, which is relatively cool. And after all of that, let's get to the third card. We actually have Trick or Treat. It is a spell card for the deck, and it literally just searches the previous 2. Add 1 Hollow, the Great Spirit of Tricks, or 1 Ween, the Great Spirit of Treats, from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So literally, you have a searcher for both of them, and that's absolutely fine. So now let's get into the new Arcana Force cards. We have 5 new cards, being 2 effect monsters, a fusion, and 2 spell cards. First up, we're going to be looking at the brand new monsters, being Arcana Force XIX the Sun 21. It is a light fairy effect monster, 2900 attack and defense, and you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If a card that has a coin tossing effect is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads, set 1 spell that has a coin tossing effect from your deck, or tails, destroy all cards in the spell and trap card zone. So it's a heavy storm, or you can set Cup of Ace or whatever coin tossing effect that you need for your specific piece of combo, which is honestly really good because you could set literally any coin toss card, and this is a great buff to those type of decks. We're off to a great start, and let's get into the next monster for the deck, and it is Arcana Force V, the Hierophant. It is a light level 4 fairy effect monster, 1500 attack and defense, and you can discard this card for the rest of this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when an Arcana Force monster is summoned to your field. If this card is summoned, toss a coin. Heads, special summon 1 level 4 lore Arcana Force monster from your deck with a different name from the monster you control and in your graveyard. And tails, special summon 1 Arcana Force monster from your deck to your opponent's field. So literally, you could either just get a free monster, or you give your opponent a free monster, and if it's one that says, oh, it explodes, it would be relatively funny. Like, you could just give them the sun, and it would allow them to see if they can just nuke their whole spell and trap card lineup. So honestly, a really funny card, but still a really good card as well. So after that, let's take a look at the brand new fusion monster Arcana Force monsters get, and it is Arcana Force EX Chaos Ruler. It's a fairy fusion effect monster that is a level 10 with 3300 attack and defense. 3 Arcana Force monsters with different names. Must be special summoned by sending the above cards from either field to the graveyard. If this card is special summoned, toss a coin. Heads, special summon 1 level 10 Arcana Force monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning condition. Or tails, add 1 card that has a coin tossing effect from your deck to your hand. And the second effect is, as long as light barrier is on your field, monsters your opponent controls cannot activate their effects. So literally a skill drain if you have light barrier. This card is really nasty if it gets going. Just keeps going, because as long as it stays there, your opponent will have a hard time trying to get around it with their on-field effects. And realistically, this is a powerful boss monster and definitely deserves that type of summoning condition. Next up, we have a very interesting card being added to the Arcana Force deck, being Wave of Light. It's a continuous spell card, and during your standby phase, if you do not control a light barrier in your field zone, destroy this card. Once per turn during your standby phase, toss a coin. If the result is tails, the following effects are negated until your next standby phase. For your monsters you control, gain 300 attack and defense, and you can discard one card. Add 2 Arcana Force monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this effect, except Arcana Force monsters. You can only activate the preceding effect of Wave of Light once per turn. Overall, really good card for Arcana Forces, being able to grab you 2 free Arcana Force monsters for literal just a discard. And realistically, this is a power boost that the deck needed, and with them getting the Fiend not so long ago, definitely worth the investment on that. And finally, we're going to be taking a look at the last card, being Arcana Spread. It is a normal spell card, and toss a coin and apply one of the below effects depending on the result. If you control a light barrier in your field zone, you could choose the effect to apply instead. Heads, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Arcana Force monster from your deck. Tails, special summon 1 monster from your graveyard that has an effect which includes a coin toss. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Add 1 card that has an effect that includes a coin toss from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use 1 Arcana Spread effect per turn, and only once that turn. Realistically, it's a very broken card once you have Light Barrier on the board, and that's the whole entire gimmick of the deck. And I feel like that this deck is just turbo out the world as much as you can, because now you have things that says, oh, you can declare what is what and see how that goes from there. But realistically, this new Arcana Force support is very good. The Gladiator Beast support is great, and overall, the free agents that we got are very gimmicky but cute. But I want to know what you guys think about all these cards in the comments below. I've been Bolt Spider. I hope you guys did enjoy, and please subscribe. Only like 5% of you guys are subscribed. But anyways, see you all in the next video.